Now broadcasting from his hidden bunker and fully stocked bar, it is the Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor.
Thank you and welcome once again, my friends, to the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, and amateur barbecuer. Welcome to AWSM Radio, an independent digital-only radio station that plays today's best music, old school classics, along with a rotating cast of all-star DJs. AWSM Radio focuses on mainstream artists, independent artists, along with a variety of interesting talk and music shows throughout the day, such as mine. All we do is entertain, inspire, and inform. And my friends, I want you to be part of the conversation. I want you to be part of the show. So find me on the Twitter, on the Rizzle, on the Cameo, on the Instagram at Colt S. Taylor, and catch up on the new things I'm doing week in and week out at ColtSebastianTaylor.com. I mean, you should probably have it bookmarked already. All right, my friends, let's get started with this week's Saturday Report. First up, friends, we go to India. India, yes, where in that country over 2 million accounts on WhatsApp were blocked in May and June for misusing services. Now, for those who are not hip and in the now and whatnot, WhatsApp is a messaging app owned by Facebook that allows people to message people back and forth over the internet, kind of like text messaging, but in a different way. You can join groups, you can call people. It's sort of a very versatile messaging system. However, it is subject to abuse, and a lot of misinformation gets thrown around on WhatsApp by people forwarding messages to groups and other people, etc., etc. And India recently passed a law to sort of crack down on this, and 2 million accounts were banned in May and June. Now, this WhatsApp says that 95% of these bans were violating the number of times they can forward a message in India. So this is a new thing that apps like WhatsApp and Twitter and other things need to submit a compliance report to India under the new IT regulations. WhatsApp's largest market is India. They have 400 million users in India. India has over 1 billion people, so it is a significant part of the population that uses this app. And they blocked 2 million people, so that's about 0.5% of the total users of this app in this country. They were blocked, which is it's just a mind-boggling number of people. Now, the biggest problem with Facebook and WhatsApp specifically in India, is that it's being used to spread misinformation and fake news in India. And according to authorities, fake news and hoaxes can get to tens of thousands of people in hours, and it's impossible to counter that. So, in the past, these fake news stories and memes and whatnot has caused violence in India, leading to some deaths. People get all worked up by this fake news and attack other people, and it causes problems. So they're trying to solve that by making these companies do that. So the WhatsApp people says it relies on artificial intelligence, looking for behavioral signals and people's behaviors on the app to sort of tag them to be looked at to be banned. So interesting. So if you're using WhatsApp in India, 1, check to make sure your sources are accurate, and 2, don't forward that stupid meme to 5,000 people, because you might find yourself blocked from the app. We now go from India to Georgia, where a highway, I believe Interstate 15, has been closed for 16, has been closed for a few days because a truck hit a bridge going over the highway. Now, listen, cars hit bridges all the time. Probably yourself, Colt, why is this a big deal? Why are you bringing this up on your highly rated international show here? Well, yes, cars and trucks do hit bridges from time to time. However, it's rare that a dump truck hits a bridge so hard it moves the bridge 6 feet, and now authorities have to destroy that bridge because they have to replace the entire bridge. Yes, that's right. So this is Interstate 16. It connects much of Georgia with the coastline. A dump truck had its sort of bucket back in the up position, like it was going to dump out whatever was in the back of the dump truck. It was up for some reason. The driver didn't notice. This full dump truck going 65 miles per hour, probably faster, down the highway, struck the bridge, obviously destroyed the truck, but hit the bridge so hard it knocked it 6 feet to the side, and is in the danger of collapsing. It hit it so hard. So basically, they did some overview shots of this. It took a look at this. Basically, the bridge is crooked now by 6 feet. Basically, I mean, that's more than I am tall. That is a significant amount of damage. So the only way to open up this major highway is to destroy that bridge and then rebuild it over the course of the next few months to put that bridge back into place. So it's been closed for a few days, and they try to figure out what to do. They're going to destroy the bridge. They're bringing in specialists who can take down the bridge safely in a 24, 48-hour period, and then they'll begin the process of rebuilding that bridge. Fortunately, the gentleman who was driving the dump truck was not killed. Very dangerous, though, but I find that to be amazing. I've seen some footage of trucks hit bridges like that before, but this must have been a fully loaded dump truck that just slammed into the side. And, oh, my goodness. Very lucky the bridge didn't then collapse onto other things and other people, and it could have been a whole lot worse. So, if you're driving through Georgia, taking Interstate 16 between mile marker 71 and 78, you're going to have to take a detour. We now go to Western Europe, where they are unfortunately facing a massive environmental disaster this weekend. Basically, it has rained a lot in Western Europe, more rain than they've seen in a month in over 100 years. They've gotten twice the amount of rain in one day than they usually do in July, triggering 100-year floods all over the place in France, Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, Switzerland, the Netherlands. Just terrible, terrible flooding. Currently, there are almost 100 confirmed killed, and this is what is really disturbing. There are at least 1,300 missing people in these areas, as they just don't know where these people are. Villages are being washed away. I saw one before and after picture of this very nice town. And the before picture, you got your fields and your town. After picture, there's just this large mud canyon carved in the ground, maybe 30, 40 feet deep, of where the water has just blown away the entire field into a lake. Hundreds of cars stacked up against the bridge just being washed away. Multiple European countries have deployed the army into areas with tanks and tanker trucks to get people out. The mayor of one town, I believe it's Liege, I don't know, I can't say European names very well, told its 200,000 people that, if you are in the city and if you can leave for higher ground, you should probably get going, because this is pretty bad. They're expecting more rain this week, which will only accelerate flooding. It is pretty terrible. I mean, just these major European cities with just a torrent of water rushing down. Multiple homes collapsed. I think there's 250,000 people without power. It is pretty terrible weather and flash floods over there in Western Europe. Britain earlier this week saw flash floods and widespread travel chaos from the same weather system. London got a month worth of rain in just one day. The Czech Republic saw a tornado, which, listen, here in the United States, we get tornadoes all the time. You usually don't see tornadoes in Europe. There's a tornado in Italy that chewed up a bunch of crops. Saw that on the ye old Twitter. And it is pretty terrible. I mean, people are living in towns. They see the cars of their neighbors and family members float by. They can't see what's inside of them. They hope they're not in there. But I will provide you an update next week to see how things are going. Hopefully, like I said, there are almost 100 confirmed dead. Hopefully, it doesn't get any higher, and they can find these people. I mean, there's a lot of power and phone lines have been cut. I mean, you see these roads where they have a lot of underground electricity, a lot of underground fiber optics. The roads are just washed away. There's no road between buildings because the water's been rushing between the buildings. The water has pulled up the road, the gravel, the sidewalk, the sewer lines. They just washed it all out of town, which is, I mean, just imagine the front of your house, and then there's nothing there anymore. There's just a big old ditch where water's flowing away. Your sidewalk's gone, your electricity's gone, the gas lines are all burnt, are broken. Ugh, it is some really, really terrible flooding over there. The worst in over 100 years. So, especially along the Rhine and the Mosel River, going through Germany and France and along the Luxembourg and Netherlands and Belgium. Whew, pretty rough stuff. So, my thoughts are with my overseas friends in Europe. Hope you are doing well over there, keeping safe. But I will provide you an update next week about the flooding in Western Europe. Switching gears, we now go to entertainment, where they are filming the 5th Indiana Jones. Yes, the 5th Indiana Jones. The 4th one was not very good. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan myself, but not very good. But there is word this week that Antonio Banderas is joining the cast. I'm a fan of Antonio Banderas. He will join Harrison Ford, who's returning as Indiana Jones, along with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, which I am a fan of, Boyd Holbrook, Shantae Renee Wilson, and Thomas Kirkman. No plot details yet on who Antonio Banderas is playing or what this movie will be about. However, what makes me hope this will be a good movie is it is being produced under Disney, which has done some very good work recently, and it is directed by James Mangold, who worked on Logan and Ford versus Ferrari. So Mangold co-wrote the script with a few other people. I don't know if he's directing or not. I could be incorrect. Anyway, but he's involved, and he was involved in two great movies. So I am looking forward to it. And also, John Williams, 89-year-old composer who did the songs for the first 4 Indiana Jones, is returning to do songs and music for this movie as well. So I'm cautiously optimistic that this will be a good installment of Indiana Jones. Hopefully the last. Come on, Harrison, you're getting old. But I will probably watch this movie. Speaking of entertainment, my friends, if you are just don't know what to do with yourselves, Friday nights 9 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., you're hanging out with your friends, you're playing cards, having a few drinks, playing Dungeons & Dragons, whatever, and you need some great house music, you need to listen to my pal, DC. He has his very own show here on AWSM Radio, DC Live in Effect. He is our in-house DJ. He mixes it up every Friday night at 9 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m. You do not want to miss out while he smashes it on the ones and twos, kicking his beats from his South Florida compound. I mean, if he was a Dungeons & Dragons character, he'd obviously be a bard, and he'd have a plus 10 for performance because he is that talented. So, my friends, listen to DC Live in Effect right here on AWSM Radio, Fridays at 9 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m. Keeping with entertainment, Shaquille O'Neal and Melissa McCarthy have added their voices to Amazon smart devices, specifically the one that who's named Alexa. I'd say the name, but I've been told by my many listeners that if I do say that particular name of the Amazon device, that then it'll trigger other devices in the house, and then sometimes disrupts my broadcast. So I will not say that particular name, but we all know what we're talking about, right? You know, the Amazon smart home device. Well, that talks to you. Well, Shaquille O'Neal and Melissa McCarthy have added their voices to make a digital celebrity assistant and whatnot. So you can have Shaquille O'Neal or Melissa McCarthy replace the default female voice, and they will tell you the weather, play songs, tell jokes, read poems and stories. You know, Shaq can rap, or Melissa McCarthy can tell you a funny story. Now, they aren't free, of course. They are $4.99 each, and they're designed to add more value to these smart speakers and other devices and whatnot. So apparently this took a lot of work for them to do. It took them 60 hours over the course of 3 months to record everything they need to put together this sort of smart assistant of voice. Shaq said it was basically like reading out of a dictionary. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done. He would sometimes spend up to 8 hours a day just reading sentences and recording phrases. In fact, Amazon built a recording studio in his house. This was during COVID-19 for him to do this. So they, picked a room, they built him a recording studio, and he'd go in there a few hours every day and read through this. If you did 60 hours a day, 60 hours total, you could do that, in 6 days, 10 hours a day. But have you talked for more than an hour at a time? Your voice gets hoarse after a while. So they probably did 2 or 3 hours a day, and that's the case. That would take them, 20 or 30 days to knock that out. And they're also, working people. They can't do it every day. So 3 months sounds about right. McCarthy released a statement saying, "That's right, folks. Get ready for the vocal stylings of this nasal Midwestern gal. I'm so happy to join the Amazon family. It's been such a fun experience working on this project. I hope you all enjoy my dad jokes. Fun fact, if you hear a slide whistle, it's my personal one that I brought with me to the recording studio." So you can check that out. It's available today. They've added a few other things in there and whatnot, so you should definitely check it out. There were some other voices available. Samuel Jackson did his voice for Amazon, and there was such a demand for it, they had him come back in and record some more stuff to expand his repertoire. Google also has a celebrity voice. Currently, Issa Rae can be used as a voice. They had John Legend, but it's currently no longer available on the Google devices. Google devices. I myself am available to do recording, so if Amazon wants to dump a pile of money on my desk, I'd be more than happy to record some voices of me telling you the weather, or basically, actually, I think my phrase for when I can't connect to the internet would be this. You know what? I would love to tell you, but I can't actually access the internet right now. So I guess you can wait or unplug me, plug me back in. But, yeah. Sorry. So that might be a little bit too long, especially if you ask 4 times in a row. But I think that would work. I think that would work really, really nice. Keeping with entertainment news, continuing with entertainment news, there's going to be a new Star Trek movie in the sort of alternate universe created by J.J. Abrams, the very successful, the first one's very successful, new Star Trek films. Second one was okay, third one was ugh, it could have been better, but they're doing another one. That was my personal feeling about it. Second one was alright, third one, it could have been better, I guess. But this new one is being directed by Matt Shakman, who did the WandaVision series on Disney Plus and got 23 Emmy nominations. A very well-received series. I didn't think they were making any more Star Trek movies in this universe, but apparently they are. As you know, or may not know, one of the actors who were in this new reboot died in 2016. Anton Yelchin, who played Chekhov, was unfortunately killed in a car accident at his home in Los Angeles in 2016. Actually, that was the 5th year anniversary of that was last month, actually. He's a very talented person. It's a very, very sad story. Basically had a Jeep, and he went to open the gate, and the Jeep's clutch came loose, and the Jeep rolled forward and crushed him, I believe, what happened. So, very tragic that he passed away. But he played Chekhov in the new movie, so I don't know if they'll recast him. They said they wouldn't, so maybe they'll have him written out of the series. But Chekhov is also a big part of Star Trek lore, so we'll see how they handle that. It has been 5 years, so maybe they'll feel a little bit differently about that. But anyways, new Star Trek movie coming out in the whole J.J. Abrams Paramount Bad Robot reboot of the series several years ago, and we shall see. Shackman also is the artistic director of the Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles, and before WandaVision, he was the executive producer and director of The Great, also an amazing Hulu series. You should check that out. And he also did a few episodes of Fargo, Game of Thrones, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So, tentatively, I would check it out. This guy's done good work. I'd imagine he would continue to do good work. We now go to entertainment and sports. A little bit of transition here. For years, college students in sports were not really allowed to make money off of them paying sports. They were student athletes, and if they were found to be making money off of them playing sports, they were severely penalized. However, colleges could make money off of them, and they do through sports and games and alumni, and they could send out literature about their faces and get donations from alumni. And also video games. Their likenesses were in video games, and colleges would rake in that money. But student athletes were not allowed to make any money off of themselves. Well, that has changed. It's been a long time coming, which I agree with completely. I don't think it's very fair for these major institutions to be making money off of their students without having them getting a little bit of piece of the pie as well. In fact, in many states, the highest paid public employee, an employee who works for the state, is a football coach. Paid millions of dollars to coach football at a state college is usually the highest paid employee of the state, which is bonkers to me. But anyways, in Missouri, Governor Parson has signed House Bill 297 on Tuesday afternoon. It's going to go into effect on August 28th, allowing students to make money off their names and likenesses. Okay, so that means they can start making money off of their images and their names and whatnot. Sign deals, I guess you could say, so they can actually, they put themselves through all of this hurt and hardship through college of being in the sport. They may not make it professionally. Okay, not all college students go into the NFL or Major League Baseball and whatnot, but they still doesn't mean they're still really popular collegiate players. And now they can make some money off of that and help for the future. So I am all for this. Congratulations, my college audience, my college sports audience. As you may have guessed, not much of an athletic person myself. More of a talker. That's why I have a radio show. But good for you guys. I hope you make good decisions with your money. Pro tip: take a check. Take a budgeting class of how to properly budget your money. Just a suggestion. But that will start. But this has already been in place in the NCAA. On July 1st, they passed an intern policy which granted athletes these rights, and now the law is pretty much going to match that policy. So if they decide not to do that anymore, they can't, because now it is law. So congratulations, football folks. Invest in mutual funds. Or actually, Consult your financial planner on how to properly handle your now new income from your name and likeness deals. Speaking of making money off of name and likenesses, obviously I'm a face, I'm a name. I should make money off of my likeness, and I do from time to time, but who should even more than me is my pal Rox. She is amazing, has a great name, a great likeness, and she has a great show, too. It's the Rock Sessions. It's the drive time show here on AWSM Radio, making sure your drive home from work, your commute home, is fun. Featuring the hottest music on the charts and some other surprises in between. She will make it rock style, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do you want Friday? I'll throw Friday in there for free. Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Right here, my friends. The only place you can find her, AWSM Radio. Check out the Rock Sessions. We now go to Tampa, Florida, where for the third time in 10 months, a team from the Tampa Bay has had a boat parade to celebrate a victory for its championship quest. And this time was the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is an NHL team. Previously, the Tampa Bay Bucks, led by Tom Brady, had a boat parade. And during that parade, Tom Brady was tossing the NFL trophy between boats and whatnot. And that happened this time, too, with the Stanley Cup. However, the Stanley Cup, a wee bit heavier than the Super Bowl trophy. So it got a whole bunch of dents because people kept dropping it. It also got soaked in beer and also champagne. It got a little dinged up, a little banged up. In fact, the Twitter account for the Stanley Cup was saying, "Hey, I'm too heavy to throw, guys, so don't throw me around." But yeah, it got thrown around a bit. But don't worry, folks. Actually, this is don't come down too hard on the Tampa Bay Lightning. It gets a lot of dents and whatnot throughout its being held by a team. Happens a lot. So this is not the first time it has been repaired. It'll be sent to Montreal to be fixed up. And then the championship squad, the Tampa Bay Lightning, gets 100 days with the Stanley Cup. So that basically 100 people or so get to spend one day with the trophy. Sometimes they take it to their family events. Sometimes they have public events to help raise money. Sometimes they just have it at home just to hang out with it and whatnot. So it's a tradition that they get like about 100 days and whatnot. And then it's back to where it goes, and it goes to a new team next year for the championship games in NHL. And it'll probably get dented up again, but I think it's funny. I mean, Tampa Bay, holy moly, when did they get so good? When did they get so good at sports? It must be the weather or something down there. But once again, won again, and I guess you gotta look out for them next year. I guess they'll be contenders to be in the running for a few years here on many different sports. So. All right, good luck, fellers. Good luck. We now go to Hong Kong for some diamond news. I talked about diamonds last week, but there was an auction in Hong Kong where a massive, exceedingly rare 101.38 carat diamond was auctioned at Sotheby's for $12.3 million. Now, that's not the reason why I brought it up. Brought it up because they don't know who the buyer is, because the buyer used cryptocurrency to pay for the diamond. Used Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the two of the most popular cryptocurrencies out there, and paid for the diamond. Last month, the auction house announced it would accept cryptocurrency's payment for auction things, and this is widely said to be the largest money paid for something publicly using cryptocurrency. It is pretty amazing. I mean, Sotheby's is not some, hippie commune. This is a major international company that just accepted, millions and millions of dollars in cryptocurrency as payment for a diamond. So It is widely seen as being a milestone in the adaptation of cryptocurrency. But, yeah, that is pretty crazy. The diamond is called D color, which is the highest grade for white diamonds. It also got the highest grade for clarity, being verified internally and externally as flawless. The auction house says the diamond is one of just 10 that has ever been auctioned ever. So these are very rare diamonds of quality, size, and clarity. And someone bought it for a bunch of money using cryptocurrency. Should be interesting. The world of cryptocurrency has now gone into NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which I don't understand completely, but I know people are buying this digital artwork, paying millions of dollars that don't exist in real life, just exist on the digital world, and that's the only copy of it, and they bought it. So that's a thing, I guess. Interesting. In May, Sotheby's worked with Coinbase which is a cryptocurrency marketplace, to accept $12.9 billion in cryptocurrency to buy artwork by Banksy, which is who is a very world famous anonymous artist. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I should have gotten on this 15 years ago. I have my own radio station, but whatever. I'm happy with my choices. So be on the lookout. Cryptocurrency might be popping up a bit more in your life than you were expecting. We now go to the great state of Texas, where everything is bigger in Texas, including crime. So as you may remember, on January 6th of this year, a large number of people took a self-guided tour through the Capitol during the Electoral College count. Or, if you're not quite familiar, there was a riot, insurrection, attempted upending of the election results, that sort of thing. And a lot of people went in there without masks. A lot of those folks don't think COVID-19 is a thing. A lot of people went in there without masks and live streaming themselves, storming the Capitol because they thought this was their moment. A lot of people without masks went in, live streaming themselves into a building that has a ton of high-quality closed-circuit television that record digitally and store off-site. So, be it they broke the law without wearing masks, recording themselves, posting on Facebook, being recorded by TV, a lot have been arrested, including 5 members of the same family. 5 of 6 members of the same family who went to the Capitol on January 6th have been charged with charges related to that day. Tom Munn, Christy Mum, Don Mum, Josh Mum, Kaylee Munn, M-U-N-N, from Borger, Texas, the first family widely believed to be charged with the incidents that happened that day. There was a 6th family member who went in there, but that person is a minor and has not been charged or identified. So I guess you could say Munn's the word on that particular person. So basically the tip-off the federal authorities had, besides the videos, besides the live streaming, were a variety of social media posts by different members of the family leading up to the day, saying they were going to storm the Capitol, and then a Facebook message where the Dunman said, "We stormed in, went in and out a broken window. They barricaded the door, so they took out the window. We climbed in!" Exclamation point. So, they're probably gonna get some community service. It really depends if they stole anything. I mean, if you're just walking through the Capitol, yeah, you're probably gonna get 500-600 hours of community service. If you stole something, well, that's a felony. That's a crime. And so they'll probably lose all their guns as well. Just assuming in Texas, it's a very high firearm state. But yeah, so hopefully, I hope they thought their self-guided live streaming tour of the Capitol went well, because they're pretty much going to be, that's going to be sticking with them for a few more years to come. When they, looking for a job, to get a bank loan. Like, hey, you have a felony here. What's that? Oh, I see. Yes, okay. Thanks for coming in. So, hey, the family that storms the Capitol together ends up in court together. Good luck, Munn family. Looking forward to the pristine highways of Texas that you will likely be cleaning up here. I'm going to say early 2022. Now, my friends, something that will likely be stormed in the future by rabid fans, it's Married to the Game. It's our new show here on AWSM Radio. It's a sports show. It's on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got Brian, Joe, Mac Daddy. They're going to bring their insights, analytics, expertise to all games, bring it to the table. And what kind of sports show would it be without a little trash talking in between these fine fellers? So tune in to catch up on all things sports, and you're going to want to follow these folks on the Instagram. I do. Married to the Game, MTTG Radio on Instagram. Bolstered _ sports, Mac Daddy, Ryan Show, and Turn Up the Jets, all on Instagram. Follow them. Tell them the Colt Sebastian Taylor sent you. Listen to Married to the Game every Wednesday, 9 p.m., right here on AWSM Radio. Finally this week, my friends, we go to Michigan, where a gentleman by the name of David Olson was demolishing the back steps of his house to do some renovation when he found a black sphere buried in the sand behind some cinder blocks, and uncovering it was a bowling ball. A bowling ball was buried here. Now, it's not unusual to find strange things while you're digging things up. Any number of reasons. Someone left it there or put it there as a keepsake or whatever. But as he continued to demolish these back steps for a home renovation, he found another one. And then another one. He found 160 bowling balls buried in his backyard. Now, obviously, this was a bit of a mystery. You generally don't see 160 bowling balls in the backyard as you're doing home renovations. So he obviously did some poking around. First and foremost, he called the bowling ball company to look up to see if they could be disposed of, because they could be full of poisonous materials. Well, figured out they were made in the 1950s and they were safe to get rid of. Now, not all these balls were in pristine condition. Some had cuts in them. Some were actually in pretty good shape. But the mystery continued. So, what's going on here? Well, he asked around, and apparently a former worker who lived there before he moved in used to take these bowling balls home, the ones they could get rid of, and use them as backfill. Instead of filling things in with sand and gravel, you use bowling balls to fill in a space and filled sand around in there so you could save some money. Actually, wasn't a terrible idea. So this guy, he's on dispose some of them. He donated 8 to the church for their bowling league. He's on keep some to make his own lawn art out of it. And he's going to give some to his stepfather, who's going to use them to make custom furniture legs. So some they got to throw away. They're too degraded. But a lot of these bowling balls are going to be used again in other projects. So actually, not a terrible thing. Also, much easier to pull out a bowling ball than a shovel full of gravel. So quite the discovery for this gentleman in Michigan. Well, my friends, that just about wraps up this week's Saturday Report with your pal, Colt Sebastian Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Remember, as always, you can find me on the Twitter, on the Rizzle, on the Instagram, and on the Cameo, Colt S. Taylor. So please, feel free to engage with me on there. If you need to listen to a past show, go to ColtSebastianTaylor.com or Anchor.fm/ColtSTaylor. All new shows will be posted there for your enjoyment by Sunday/Monday and whatnot. If you're listening to podcast, you can sign up for that and get your Saturday report on Monday. But, you should definitely bookmark my website as well. So until next time, my wonderful, fantastic friends, I am, of course, your favorite redhead, Colt Sebastian Taylor, and I'll see you later.